Survival game. This game has extremely fans out there who like to play a zombie-based game, open world games, crafting game, and also storyline-based. This thing will become a survival game at once. Such a complex aspect, we got to know the story next. Remember, to help this video to reach 200 likes, please enjoy the video of Top 10 Best Survival Games Android and iOS, Best Graphic Survival Mobile, Offline, Multiplayer, Online. Petcraft. Petcraft. This game is on early access, which means there is so many things that need to be done and improved by the developer, but I have seen the main goal is making a palworld mobile game like. The way the gameplay mechanism lets the player capture the monster around us. The first impression I play of this game is it totally reminds me of a Downland. From the character's look and how the world has an anime art style that combines with an action RPG and survival base. Petcraft is a multiplayer survival game where we can meet the other players in the same world, but the number of the player is pretty limited and we should get into a queue to enter the same server. Pick up the material, craft the equipment, and construct your own house is possible to do. The combat mechanism needs a lot of improvement. I cannot lock the target perfectly. Most of my attacks are miss, and I think the developer needs to add an aim assist features to help the player while in the combat. Use your tool as the weapon is possible like an axe. This is the best anime survival multiplayer game for Android and iOS. Stardew Island. Stardew Island. This is the best new offline survival game for mobile. The game is just a new release, so you can download the game freely on the Play Store. The game size is less than 1 GB, which is only 629 MB, even though it is a very affordable and playable offline, but you can also play the game in multiplayer that needs a connection. The gameplay allows the player to do so many activities like swimming across the island, diving, fishing to get a variety of fish to consume, killing the monster around your tent. Oh yeah, remember to build up your tent first since you started the game, because this is the first move to create another tools. Through the trailer, we can see the main world will become so busy with a lot of players to make their own activity to kill their time by taming the pet, flying, and also driving a speedboat. Seriously, this survival offline game should get more attention from the other players. Even right now, the game only downloaded less than 100 players. Stardew Island has a 3D open world survival game that allows you to play offline and online with your friends. Get your friends to join here then. The best game survival for Android. Zombie Ranch. Zombie Ranch Simulator Survive. This game will be your best option to play for a very light and playable survival game on mobile. The game is playable offline and has a simple and casual gameplay mechanism. We can prepare everything for survival needs at a separate times with the incoming monster. So when you think you are ready, then you can tap the night mode and call the zombie to get your range. Protect it by using your gun and also ask for a melee weapon. The whole mechanism is fully an auto fire, so we just need to lock the target and let our hero do a fire continuously. While we were at the ranch, we could plant some vegetable like carrots, cabbage, or tomatoes. Every single vegetable would need a different estimate time to finish. Of course, you can speed it up by spending some diamonds that you got freely as a newbie gift. Sell some items to earn money and buy the best goods to survive then. Actually, this survival game doesn't have any open world base, so we have a limited area to explore. I'm sure everyone can enjoy the game in the best performance. This is the best game survival Android and iOS. Blockfun. Blockfun. If you would like to find the new survival game on mobile, so I suggest you wait for it to release globally. I've tried this game on the first beta testing and I really enjoy the gameplay and how good the graphics are, but I think the developer needs to be focused on the rendering graphic setting to make it even faster, because it's quite slow when we move into a new location to render the location. The rest, I will admit, this game has everything that we need to play as a good survival game Android and iOS. Blockfun is an open world game where we can explore the world by flying. Of course, it will cost a certain amount of stamina, so every single action we do will consume the stamina, like dodging, attacking, flying, running. When I explored the world, I noticed there was no sea. or lake or a river. It only had a ground and land. As a survival game, the water is really important and makes the game even have more good gaming experience. The combat mechanism is really simple. It has a hack and slash in action. Build your own house with the other players. Blockfun is one of the best new multiplayer survival game high graphic mobile. Amikin Survival. Amikin Survival. This game is one of the best new survival games that has a role-playing base. The game will show us from a top-down view perspective and cannot change the point of view at all. Honestly, I prefer to play a survival game that allows the player to rotate the camera into 360 degrees. Surely it got some inspiration from the Palworld Android game, where we can capture the monster and summon him to face the monster while in the combat. But we cannot navigate him. We are only able to navigate the main hero to do some actions. Our pet is called the Amikin, so the Amikin is one of the most important things that we should increase his ability and power, because we will fight side by side and mostly the monster will lock our Amikin. This survival game is pretty easy to play. Seriously, we can get any kind of material just along the way. Mostly it will be placed on the ground and we just need to pick it up. Crafting the equipment, unlocking some new areas after we reach a certain level, less than 1 GB, you have the best graphic survival game for mobile. Earth Revival: The Core. Earth Revival: The Core. This game seems to be one of the best survival games on mobile. If we are focusing on the graphic, it's well crafted. Unfortunately, we should download such a high size while in-game to enjoy the highest quality experience. It has more than 10 GB we should download. Trust me, you will not be disappointed about the whole gameplay. It has everything: good storyline with a futuristic character design and how the monster is not a zombie anymore, so we'll fight against the mutant with a mechanical base. It's human-made and we should find out who's behind this chaos. The gameplay of Earth Revival: The Core is we can explore the realistic world and start collecting the material without thinking of the basic tools. Since we started the game, we are able to cut down the tree and also get some stone by using a sword knife. Even we don't need to craft anything to use it. Our primary weapon is a gun. We can shoot the enemy while moving. That's pretty good to make our distance in a better directions. There is some indicator that we should focus on. Take the actions to solve the problem, like drinking the water, get some food or berries, try to swimming the white lake with a crystal clear water. This is the best graphic survival Android game and also for iOS. Lost Future. Lost Future. If you want to enjoy the Resident Evil game, then I would suggest you to play it 100%. It has a similar gameplay with a creepy zombie that will try to chase us in a massive number. It almost reached more than 10 zombies, will follow you without any mercy. Likely we are, because we can switch the hero between 3 characters. Those characters will represent a different equipment. Each of the heroes should have a variety of the weapons. We always should be ready every time. Sometimes the zombie will suddenly appear from the bushes or coming out from behind. In-game, as a survival game, we should try to find out the hidden goods that contain material. The material we'll need for crafting very useful items like an ammo, because the ammo is pretty limited and it's important to use a gun. It will deal massive damage rather than using a melee weapon. This is the best open world single player survival game for Android and iOS. Dragon Island Survivor. Dragon Island Survivor. This survival game is just a new release. Not many people know the game exists on the Play Store now. No wonder the total player that has been downloaded only reached 1,000 players. Surely it's quite a worthy game. It has a very simple gameplay. We can chop down the tree to obtain the woods. Since we started the game, we only need to craft the pickaxe to gather some stones, but of course we can collect more by picking it along the way. The gameplay has a top-down view perspective. We are only able to pick 2 heroes that have a fixed appearance. As a game with a small size, I think the game visual will be the top priority for the players to play it. In fact, it has an open world concept. At a certain level, we can get a pet to help us explore the world. Anyway, we don't have many features to do. Hopefully in the future, the developer will add fishing and swimming as the next project. The appearance of the hero will be adjusted based on the vest that you are wearing, as well as the weapon. Dragon Island Survivor is the best new game survival for mobile. Tegra Zombie. Gara Zombie Survival Island. This game is playable offline and becomes one of the best hidden survival games. The game will give you a very short tutorial about the basic gameplay, but I am sure you can learn it even faster. The game has a story-based game where we should follow the main mission and listen to the main hero narration with full of voiceover. It's not a pure open world game because we should move into the other places through portal. Of course, it will cost some energy, even when you run to a faster reach into another places. So maintaining it's really important and be wise to use it. While in the combat, we can shot the target by using a gun. Try to lock the zombie's head to deal a higher damage. I realized on the setting, I didn't find any graphic setting selections, which mean all devices will run this game perfectly. This is the best new survival game offline for Android and iOS. Gara Down. This is the first time I replayed the game again. I was surprised how the game still has a huge number of the player active. It's more than 20 players on the screen that I show. Of course, the game lets us know how good the graphics are. We can set the graphic into ultra setting and see the difference of the visual then. For a mobile game, it has a very good attention to detail, especially when we hit the tree to gather some woods. Then the tree will leave the scratch on it, even when the zombie and the other monster are attacking each other. It seems like a very small thing but make a huge difference with a great attention to detail, making the game even feel so realistic. This is a multiplayer survival game, but I'm really satisfied about the ping connection. It totally runs perfectly without laggy. Ride your motorbike and explore the immersive world, and the weather can be changed even if we will get the experience of day, afternoon and night. The best survival game for Android and iOS. Crisis X. Bonus Crisis X, your last survival. Of course, this game will always come into every single survival list. Absolutely one of the most worthy survival games that provides a beautiful landscape with a green land. The game will show how amazing the visuals are, pure of perfections with a realistic idle grass movement. The game is not an autoplay, so we should get everything manually. Anyway, the level of the difficulty is quite high. The dexterity of the zombie is quite high. Even his strength of the attack will give a huge amount of damage. In the game, we can gather and loot some equipment along the tent, always trying to check on every single place to make sure you get something good freely. These all are the best survival games for mobile. I hope you all enjoy our video. Remember to like this video and help us to reach 200 likes. See you on the next video. Thanks.